Ladies and gentlemen, the gloves are off. And this time, it's not happening in the boxing ring. Tonight, the internet isn't talking about titles, medals, or championships. It's talking about tears, betrayal, and a voice that broke millions of hearts in real time. Claressa Shields, the undefeated queen of boxing, just had one of the most emotional public breakdowns we've ever witnessed. She went live on Instagram, and what came out left everyone stunned. Through tears and frustration, she said the words that would ignite a media storm. Remy tried to end me. Her voice cracked. Her tone shifted, and for the first time, fans saw her not as a fighter, but as a woman who'd been deeply hurt. Within minutes, clips from the live broadcast spread across the internet like wildfire. The moment she spoke those words, everything changed. People started asking the same questions. What happened between Claressa Shields and Remy Ma? Who betrayed whom? And why did it feel so personal, so intimate, that it cut deeper than any headline could explain? It all began as a casual Instagram live. Claressa was chatting with fans, laughing, sipping on a drink, the same confident, composed woman everyone knew. But underneath the calm smile, something felt different. Her eyes were heavy, her laughter forced. She was clearly holding something in. And then, without warning, she dropped the line that flipped everything. Remy tried to end me. The live chat froze. Fans thought she was joking at first, but the look on her face told a different story. That wasn't a punchline. That was real, raw pain. The kind of pain money, belts, or fame can't fix. The internet went into overdrive. Hashtags like #RevsClaressa and #Betrayal in her ring started trending. People dissected every word, every pause, every expression. Then, just as the chatter reached a fever pitch, a leaked audio clip surfaced. Low quality, but clear enough to hear two familiar voices. One was calm and cold, allegedly Remy Ma. The other was emotional, cracking Claressa. The two women were arguing not about boxing, not about business, but about loyalty and trust betrayed. Claressa accused someone of leaking private messages to blogs. You could hear her voice shake as she said, "I know who sent it. I know who made it viral." The other voice snapped back, "Don't blame me for your mess. You brought this on yourself." And that was when the shouting began. Fans said listening to it felt like hearing a friendship die in real time. By the next morning, gossip pages had exploded. Blogs ran with headlines like "Remy betrays Claressa" and "Leaked audio exposes friendship fallout." Everyone had a theory. Some claimed Remy betrayed Claressa over a brand deal gone wrong. Others believed it was something deeper, a private argument that spilled into the public eye. Insiders revealed that their friendship had already been shaky for months. Rumor had it that the two clashed during a charity event in New York. Remy had supposedly promised to connect Claressa with a major sponsorship for a women's boxing campaign. But when the deal was finalized, Claressa's name wasn't on it. She allegedly felt used, like her name had been exploited for publicity without credit or payment. One insider said she had considered Remy her big sister, but instead of loyalty, she got betrayal. By the time Claressa went live, she had already been holding back for weeks. People close to her said she hadn't been sleeping well, that she felt isolated, and that the pressures of the industry had begun to wear her down. So when she said those words, "Remy tried to end me," it wasn't for attention. It was a cry for help. Remy's silence made things worse. For days, she said nothing. No tweets, no comments, no shade, just silence. And that silence spoke volumes. The longer she stayed quiet, the more fans assumed she was guilty. Screenshots of old friendly posts between the two resurfaced, and people began calling them fake. Then Claressa posted a photo from her gym. Gloves off, eyes red, caption, "Even the strongest woman can break, but I'm still standing." Within hours, the post hit over 3 million likes. Celebrities flooded the comments, some offering love, others staying quiet to avoid taking sides. But the story didn't end there. More messages leaked, alleged DMs and text exchanges about money and loyalty. One message supposedly showed Claressa writing, "You used me. You said we were family." Remy's alleged response, "Family doesn't mean blind loyalty." The internet erupted again. Fans were divided. Podcasts debated every detail. People replayed every clip, trying to figure out the truth. Then came the next twist, a second audio leak. This one was clearer. You could hear Claressa shouting, "You promised me that deal. You said my name was on it." A calm voice replied, "You weren't ready." It sounded real. The clip reached over 10 million views in just one day, but something didn't add up. A few sharp-eyed fans noticed background sounds in the clip didn't match the supposed date. Some suggested the audio had been edited, maybe even manipulated. That's when whispers started that this entire drama might have been engineered, leaked intentionally to ruin reputations. By now, both sides had lawyers. Claressa's management released a statement about protecting her mental health, while Remy's team warned that any false claims would face legal consequences. But it was too late. The internet had already made its judgment. Memes flooded social media. People made remixes out of Claressa's crying audio. Brands began backing out of sponsorships, afraid of the controversy. What had started as friendship drama had turned into a full-blown PR disaster. Then Remy finally broke her silence. She went live, no makeup, no glam, just her in a dimly lit room. Calmly, she said, "I don't owe anybody an explanation, but I'm not letting anyone play with my name." She didn't mention Claressa directly, but through careful shade, she added, "Some people confuse mentorship with motherhood. I don't babysit egos." The internet exploded. Half the audience called her a queen for handling it with class. The other half said she sounded guilty. Claressa later responded with a short clip, voice trembling, face half hidden. "When someone you trust more than family tries to bury you," she said, "you stop explaining and start surviving." That single line sent chills across the internet. Now, the world was watching two powerful women, once close like sisters, torn apart by betrayal, rumors, and a media storm too big to control. What started as friendship had become a war of words, leaks, and heartbreak. In this battle, there were no winners, just lessons, scars, and silence louder than any punch ever thrown. You could hear everything in those recordings: the pain, the anger, the fear. Then came the line that broke the internet. A voice that sounded like Remy said, "You'll regret crossing me." That single sentence became the quote of the decade. People replayed it endlessly, debating if it was real or edited. But no one really cared. It was too powerful to ignore. Right when it seemed like things couldn't get worse, a journalist stepped forward with shocking claims. He said he had proof, actual emails showing that a PR company working with both women had staged parts of the feud for publicity. If true, it meant this chaos wasn't entirely real. It was designed to keep people talking. By the time that truth surfaced, it was too late. Fans had already chosen sides. Both women were emotionally drained. The morning after the full audio leaked, headlines screamed, "Remy threatens Claressa." Social media had turned the fight into entertainment. TikTok edits, memes, late-night jokes. Everyone cashed in. Behind the scenes, Claressa was breaking. Friends said she wasn't eating, barely sleeping, and felt trapped as millions watched her pain unfold online. Meanwhile, Remy felt attacked too. She reportedly told a friend, "They made me the villain." Overnight, then the journalist dropped receipts. Time-stomped emails showing phrases like time narrative conflict and dual audience. Engagement. Translation. Someone had planned the drama to boost engagement. The internet froze. Were Claressa and Remy victims of manipulation? Or had they both played along? Claressa finally spoke again, tearful but calm. "You can twist my story," she said, "but I still have my truth." Hours later, Remy posted, "Some fights aren't worth winning." Both women went silent after that, but the internet didn't stop. Fake AI videos, memes, and false leaks kept the story alive. In the end, both lost something real. Claressa lost her peace. Remy lost her privacy. And the audience? Well, the audience gained another viral tragedy. Even now, weeks later, the story continues to linger online. It's replayed in news clips, debated in podcasts, and dissected in forums. People argue about who was at fault, who was manipulated, and who, if anyone, truly emerged victorious. But the truth is simpler and far more human. Both women were caught in a storm they never asked for. Both were forced to fight battles in public that should have been private. And both will carry the scars for the rest of their lives. This isn't just a story about fame or betrayal. It's about the cost of being a public figure, about trust shattered in front of millions, and the price of survival in an industry that thrives on conflict and controversy. Claressa Shields, the undefeated queen, showed the world that even the strongest fighters have a breaking point. Remy Ma, a respected artist, revealed the fragility of loyalty under pressure. And the world? The world watched, shared, laughed, debated, and ultimately moved on, leaving these two women to pick up the pieces in silence. And yet, through all the chaos, one thing remains clear: their stories are far from over. Because in the age of social media, even silence speaks volumes, and the next chapter could arrive at any moment.